This is Tony Tony Chopper. Chopper? Choppa! I'm just gonna keep saying Choppa because it's more kawaii, and I was inspired by this illustration I found by Ryo Taniguchi. There's also this figurine version of him.
Disclaimer, this is not a tutorial, I just wanted to nerd out about making cakes and One Piece.
So to make those pancakes that Choppa is sitting on that can support the weight of his gigantic head, but also to be a true cake, not just some pancakes, I'm making some thin discs of Japanese cotton cheesecakes. I figured if you stacked them, they would kind of look like pancakes. Because the top of the cake browns in the oven, the color and the texture are pretty convincing. But the problem is these cakes are super soft, so to make sure Choppa and his giant head doesn't crush and sink through the layers of the cake, I added 3 chocolate pillars in the middle of the cake to prop him up and make sure he doesn't sink into the cake. I'll link a video that explains this better below. It's really useful when you want to stack your cakes but you don't want to use inedible structures like boba straws, dowels, or pipes. Again, Choppa in his later years is very top heavy, so if I were to make this hat too heavy, the whole thing might topple over, so here I'm just making some chocolate Rice Krispies treat that will act as the filler, and this could add some nice crunchy texture to the cake. I'm melting some chocolate with some butter, and I decided to pop it. I'm not measuring here, but I do remember going really heavy with the chocolate because I prefer the chocolate overpowering the marshmallow flavors. It's a lot less sweet, and I think it tastes a lot better this way. To shape it, I used a plastic wrap to avoid getting chocolate all over my hands. I started off with the general ball shape for his hat, which I covered in modeling chocolate after. And this is why this is not a tutorial. I didn't have a proper plan going in, so the way I make it is a bit messy and I ran out of time to refine some details. Anyway, I'm rewatching One Piece again, and I always notice how much Choppa's character design changes even before post time skip, and his body becomes smaller and smaller and his features are just so much cuter. Post time skip, he was giving me a little bit of Happy from Fairy Tail vibes. And it's not just Choppa, it's also the other characters. Their faces get rounder and rounder. Like, is it just me? Like, One Piece characters used to be kind of ugly. Like cute ugly, Like, it wasn't following the conventional anime style at the time. It wasn't too cutesy or feminine or masculine in any way. It was just nice and unique. And I appreciated that. I think I used to really enjoy the character designs until I got older and I was like, there's no diversity in any of the female bodies that are supposed to be attractive. And as a kid, I don't think I realized how unrealistic those bodies were. Like, I watched Inuyasha and was like, where are the nipples? And thought that was the definition of beautiful tits, like no nipples. Oh wait, what was I doing here? So I think I'm making his shirt here. Yeah, I am. I think I was using gum paste instead of fondant here, and I noticed that gum paste dries faster. When it gets this dry, even water won't really hold things together. So I recommend melting some gum paste in warm water and using that paste as glue. Oh, this is the fun part. So I'm using some modeling chocolate to create that drippy effect around his head. And this is my first time using modeling chocolate. So when I work with fondant or gum paste and they dry in a certain shape and you want to correct something, like that's it. Like the more you touch it, you're only going to make more cracks and rough textures. But modeling chocolate is more forgiving. The heat from my hand will melt the chocolate just enough for me to refine the details. And the oil or the cocoa butter is adding some shine to the finish, which is perfect for this drippy, melty effect that I'm trying to achieve. The deadline for this cake was last year Halloween, and that's why I have Thriller Barker playing in the background to get myself in the mood. And even though I finished the cake on time, it took me a full year to edit and upload this video. A big part of me wants to make videos that are really aesthetically pleasing and high quality, but as you can see, that's not what I'm going for here. I struggled over how I was going to edit this video because I'm the person who's going to be rewatching this over and over again. And as I was editing, I realized that I just want to ramble about whatever's on my mind. And it's okay that I procrastinated a full year to upload this because I did it. I still uploaded it. So good for me. I don't know why I always put so much pressure on myself to make something special. To me, creative activities is just like working out. Like, I love it, it's good for me, but the more I make a big deal out of it, I put more pressure on myself and it becomes less enjoyable. And what's the point if I don't enjoy it? So rather than trying to make something high quality, original, and amazing every time, I focus my energy on making what's interesting to me. And there you go, I finished making the body. Ah, the face. This is where what you're making either becomes cute or scary. And you know what? I struggle with perfect symmetry. His left eye is a little bit disfigured. My face is asymmetrical. Why should his be symmetrical? It's unhealthy to chase after perfection. Imperfections foster unity and remind us of our humanness.
I probably can't tell because of the shitty quality.
最低だ。穴があったら埋めてほしい。
And now I'm making the strawberries for the fruit crown he's wearing. I initially wanted to use real fruit, and I actually went out and bought them. And it just felt like I was trying to stick this 3D character into 2D anime world. Like, it doesn't really belong there, This part is a bit tedious because you have to roll out the seeds individually. But it is really fun to make these. It's kind of like reverse blackhead extractions. It almost feels like I'm embedding blackheads into someone's tiny little nose. Is that gross? I guess it's kind of gross. Blueberries are much easier to make. You roll them into little balls and then you pinch the top with some tweezers. For the antlers, I used gum paste because gum paste are pretty light, and the weight of the antlers, if I were to use fondant or modeling chocolate, it would have been pretty dense and heavy, and they're practically floating in midair. So I wanted to make sure I don't use toothpick or any other inedible objects to hold these down. So I just tried my best to make them as light as I can. Oh, and the macaron you see here, I ran out of time and who am I kidding? I'm not good at making these, so I just went out and bought one. And here I'm sticking on some sprinkles very strategically. The goal is to space them apart so that they're visually pleasing, but also to cover up as many flaws as possible. Like, this is the goal of everything I make. How well do I cover up the mistakes I made? And to hold the antlers in place, just wrap it with the plastic wrap. This way you won't get your fingerprint everywhere or disrupt any details. Unfortunately, I couldn't find those star candies anywhere, so I used other classic Asian snacks I found to decorate around them.